Alrighty. Hello. Hi, Amber. Welcome in. So you probably had noticed I ended the stream early yesterday. I did. I was upset at the game and I felt very discouraged. It's not your fault. Okay, I'm going to put this down. It's not your fault right off the bat. And as I was feeling discouraged, I was asking questions for the chat like, what do you want me to do? What should I do with this game? What would you like to see? When to do it, etc. I probably like pepper bombed everyone with a bunch of questions because I was mad at the game and the situation at hand. And I kept seeing crickets, no responses. And because I was not getting anything from anyone, which of course I knew why you weren't there, Amber, you were busy getting your dinner. But because I didn't see anyone there at all, I asked, hey, do y'all even want me to stream at all? Should I even bother be here? And since I didn't receive any replies, I just ended the stream. So that's what happened. I took some time to calm down. I talked it over with my family. I'm not going to do Silksong on Fridays, but the fate of Silksong will be posited on Wednesday. So the last hour of tarot, if I'm on time, if there's no like huge list, yeah, I was hearing how hard it was for everyone yesterday, which is kind of weird because I thought the astrology would be good, but that's probably me misinterpreting things. But for me, um, I felt like I was talking to a wall and no one cared, which I know that people do care, they were just busy. And that didn't help me in that situation yesterday when I'm upset with the game, and let alone the circumstances surrounding this game. I didn't want to play a game that is boring for people, and the problem with playing a game that may be boring with people is that people will show up. And I don't have anyone show up, I'm not able to get answers. And that's the truth. So, I will ask about Silksong to everyone. I'll slow down so everyone could like understand. I won't ask a bunch of questions. I know Wednesday is tarot, but the last hour I want to change it to just chatting and talk about the fate of Silksong and ask everyone's opinion about it. And if y'all don't have an opinion on Silksong, I also need to know. Because that means that at least you care enough to respond back. Yesterday was not the time to have people lurking, especially when I'm asking for help. So I did get angry, and if that upset a bunch of people, sorry. I did my best not to blow up, and I think walking away to cool down and think about this situation helped me a lot better than just blowing up. I was, and still am, not happy I didn't hear anyone or see anyone in the chat responding back. Admittedly, I pepper bomb a bunch of questions because, you know, Gemini, but I was not happy that I was just getting no responses. I mean, it's not a game that I would pay, but I just don't like bugs. See, that's helpful. I know for sure that you don't like the game, I think you had mentioned that, like, what, a month ago or so? Hearing that really helps, you know? Because the point of me playing this game was that it was part of the backlog games. I got it as a Christmas gift for my family. It's something I asked for. I wanted it. I loved it. And for it to land on Silksong made me really giddy, made me really happy because then I could show you something I love. But it took forever. And I didn't realize that I've been doing this since the beginning of February. And now it's been 4 months of doing this once a week. So it's become a problem to a point where I even had to set plant it to a non streaming day like a Friday, something I normally don't do. Um, the reason why I'm upset with the game, other than the boss, in case people weren't here, was because it was all Act 1. All these 4 months of playing once a week have been Act 1. And that's what got me sent over the edge. So, regardless the fate of Silk Song, again, that's something that's going to be asked on Wednesday when most of you are going to be here. Most of the regulars are going to be back on Wednesday. I will be asking y'all the fate of Silk Song and where would you like me to play it, if on Twitch at all, or if we should just drop it entirely. I play it for personal means, or if y'all would like to see it on YouTube, etc. So something like that is going to be discussed Wednesday at the end of Tarot. And I think it will be a wonderful discussion. Um, but I want it to be an honest discussion. And by that point, hopefully, I will not be mad and I will calm down. I am determined to finish this game. I am determined to finish this game. I do believe I can get through the obstacles. I just don't know how long it's going to take me. And I don't know if y'all want to see me defeat this game. So that's where the issue is. Do you want to see this or not? Because I will play this. This is something I want. I had asked for it. Mm. It can be healthy to take a break from a game. It can also, but I don't want to take too long of a break because it's such a skill issue where you have to have the movements to do what you need to do. Um, then again, I do realize that at the end of the stream, I'm physically tired from playing such a hard game like that. And for some reason, my movements weren't as quick as I wanted to be yesterday. I was definitely having an off day yesterday, which coming into it now, I realize that there are other things going on that makes me not at my game. It's a very physical game and it requires skill, and I don't mind meeting that challenge. But I feel like if I take too long of a break, I won't be able to get into the swing of things and actually like complete it. And I have a terrible habit of abandoning games throughout my whole life, which my brother is like, yeah, that's a symptom of ADHD. Duh. And I'm like, thanks. I wish I could be diagnosed. Um, but anyway, that's neither here or there. one of the ways that Twitch has helped me is being accountable of playing a game and seeing it through and finishing it. So part of me is worried that I will end up abandoning Silksong, especially now there's Paralives that just came out. And I'm afraid that Paralives will consume me. um, but who knows? Again, I'm leaving that question on Wednesday. And thank you, Amber. And just in case something weird happens, you happen not to be there um, on Wednesday. You know, at least I got your info about your views on the game. Maybe not all of it, but like at least that helps me. So it's not wanting to continue the never finish anything idea, right? Yeah, it's a little bit more than I need to finish this game out of obligation. I have to think for a moment, sorry. Yeah, it's not just out of obligation, it is a wonderful challenge. It is something I'm terrible with. I'm terrible with platforming games. And for some reason, that hasn't stopped me from playing this game. It is something I asked for. I asked for it on Christmas and I was happy to dive into it, and it was something I really enjoy. In fact, I feel like the movements and qualities of Silksong is a noticeable difference from Hollow Knight. And some of the movements and actions in Hollow Knight are a little bit archaic, slower, clumsier compared to Hornet and Silksong. I had a chance to play both recently, and I realized, yeah, I like the movements in Silksong better. I think they really improved the programming. Then again, it's a different character who's a lot more skilled. So this is definitely more than I need to finish this for everyone. But I do want to check in and say, hey, do you actually want me to see this through to the very end? And if so, how would you like to see this? When? Where? Etc. So, Wednesday. Wednesday, the end of Wednesday, after some tarot sessions, I will ask. Uh, Hollow Knight is a series now. For the longest time, it was just the Hollow Knight game, and they had been saying, "Oh yeah, Silksong will be a DLC to Hollow Knight. You get to play as Hornet, and you run around and do stuff. Woo!" And eventually, it became a thing. The developers realized, "Hey, we can put more stuff into this." And they set up a Kickstarter, and they were blown away by the huge financial support they received to make Silksong a proper game. Because it's a small developer team that created Hollow Knight. And so they put to work, everything is drawn by hand. The backgrounds were drawn, the characters were drawn, each animation was drawn. You actually could see the strokes on the characters' bodies, and if I ever like slow down, you could like see the indentions on the ink. Whether it's digital ink or like paper ink, I could tell it's made by a human hand. With these strokes and patterns and everything, it's really well done, and the shading is incredible. So this game is completely done by human hand, and that's why it took so long. So when it did finally came out last year, um, a lot of people were happy, but it was overshadowed by something major like Clear Upscare 33, um, which is an expedition fighting game where it's like a combat turn game too. It blew everyone out of the water. And because of that, it really overshadowed the release of Silk Song, which deserved like a huge reaction, just as much. Um, in my opinion, that's just me. That's just how much I loved all of it. So this is rather recent. This came out last year, and in my book, that's a relatively new game. So I was really stoked I was able to get that along with Hollow Knight as a set for my gift. So yeah, I'm definitely determined to like finish this. Um, whether it's in my personal time or whether it's in front of a camera, I really want to like do this. I don't know how busy I'm going to be this June with all the promotion and stuff like that that's been going on. Um, I have an ad that I gotta record and like make and like publish, so I don't know when that's gonna happen. Um, I feel like I'm constantly behind on everything. And of course, I'm working on my book in the background. And lately, I've been staying up late and getting up early, which is not really helping with my work schedule that I originally set up. So hopefully, I could get back into the groove and have a routine where I actually have time to like play some games on my own for myself. Um, been taking a lot of time to like just relax and chill. Now I think about it. Um, but yeah, it's something I love, which is why it's so upsetting with the boss. I didn't realize that's how they were upping the ante. That was really upsetting, but understandable. But like, come on, if I could just put a mod where I have a bench just at that point, I would be happy. But that's cheating. Now, going on about Signalis, I admittedly don't know if I'm going to pull off this ending. Hi, Dan. Welcome in. In fact, I'm not looking forward to it because I feel like I'm underprepared. I used up so much of my ammo already and all the equipment I need to do to like take care. Oh, Amber, I am so sorry. Oh, my. This is not going to help, but I am so sorry. My condolences. In fact, no words could like speak about the pain you're going through. I am so sorry. I hope you find the person soon. Actually, do y'all want like a cozy game instead of Signalis? Because I think Signalis is just going to be so heavy. I could put it up as a vote, actually, if y'all want. Because I do have a cozy game that's not a backlog game, that's just designing things. And I can switch to that. No. It's a make room game. It's a cute little game where you design a little room and you put it together the way you like it. It's very microcosmic home design, but it's like room to room. You would prefer it. I don't like games that have guns in them. Considering with what happened, yeah. I understand. Um, I do I do know that next week, if I do like take this time to like do a chill game, I do have to get back to Signalis. So just a heads up, Amber, that next week will be Signalis. You're welcome to come back anytime, but if y'all ever get triggered by the heavy topics from these heavy games I am going to play, understandable that you need to like take a walk, take a breath, or whatever it is. Today I will do the switch for you. More than happy to do so. That way I could like ramble and talk about things, and y'all get to like chill. But definitely next week I will play that Signalis game if that's okay with everyone. Oh, define weird. uh, I'm in the pit where my partner shot Adler, and I think I'm gonna confront my partner. Sorry, Amber. I care more about your mental health than your points. And I know it's something that you see as very important, but if you're going to get so upset and triggered, I don't want you hurt. But today, I'm going to switch over to like a cute little game that's very calming, but definitely next week it will be that game. I do have to finish it. I'm so sorry. No, that's okay, Dance. Oh, thank y'all. By the way, I wasn't sure if the channel points is at the right level. I did double it. Some of them are double, some of them are not. I did change up some of the redeem points. Not the terror points, but the redeems. Um, so if it's too difficult, let me know. But I don't want to have. I wanted like a treat and not like an obligation where I'm happy to like go and do it. Um, so I will need to get some water. Okay. So I'm more than happy to do that. Thank you, Dance, for the redeem. And also thank you, Amber, for the 45 streak. That's huge. Thank you. I'm also working out a fanfic. And I think I want to like talk about it. Real water or tea? Well, I think lemonade may not be hydrating by people's standards because of the sugar. Now I think about it. It does keep my temperature down because it's chilled. JP Morgan, ew. um, no. No, I like R. Salvatore and the Forgotten Realms, and there's one um, angsty nemesis of Dritz Jordan called Artemis Entreri, who was an assassin that became a mercenary. So he's like a freelance assassin, essentially. And he has been like, I don't know, a drifter. And he slowly is kind of like having a little bit of a character development moment where he's moving on from I need to control everything to like whatever, I'm here. I'm just a professional. So there is a bit of a change in him, and because he's a character that I normally don't deal with or think about. Um, I was fascinated because he is technically evil, and I'm fascinated about like his thoughts and homosexual. Yeah, like I think all adventurers are kind of like hobos. You know, they aren't enough. They like spend it all and they go back adventuring and they don't really have like a space that they like live in. Oh, Amber, I am very touched and honored. I would be very, very touched. Again, like, I'm like completely honored that y'all would ever come back here. And like want to hang out with me, want to chat with me, want to like have fun with me. Which is why I was like a little bit shocked that I was getting crickets yesterday. Which again, if people are busy and dealing with a bunch of stuff, I understand. Um, I just gotta ask all of you when you're all are actually here. Um, Whether I like it or not, I have to face the fact that I may have to eventually create a Discord where I can ask you all questions and try to get answers. But I hate to just make a Discord just for that. I feel like there's got to be some way I could do it where it's like in the stream. All right, I have to reinstall. Sorry, everyone. So this may break up the stream a little bit. Adventurers don't seduce folks for places to stay. Invite me to those tables. Now, I don't think Entreri seduces anyone. I think he's just like a lost soul essentially and is just trying to like find love. Or not really finding love, but like he's trying to find his way in this life. And I don't think he knew what he wants. He just has a friend and Duralaxo and he's like, sure, I'm here for the ride. And eventually got caught up in a relationship. So I don't know. But there's a fanfic where I kind of want to see him at the end of the road and something happens. So he's a very fascinating character to me. Oh no! I was dealing with ads. Did I lose people? Great! I love that when that happens. I like to talk during the ads. The only thing more cozy than this would be a cozy bowl of chicken soup. Oh man. Chicken soup, no matter the time, is delicious. Actually, having it much later is a treat. Also, I made this super duper tight. So if I'm gonna have to make some adjustments with this scarf, I will. Ooh. Does it count that I have some um, egg, a breakfast sandwich with egg, a beef slice, and cheese? I mean, an egg is a chicken. Why is this not opening the game? Open the game. There it goes. It's launching the game now. There you go. I do need to get a drink that is hydrating. I will put that together for you, Dance. Thank you so much for the hydrate. I need my chicken soup. You know, that will be very, very nice. I think tonight it's going to be Fitzburgers. A very special burger that that's a family recipe. Cream cheese and salmon bagel and a runny omelet. That sounds delicious. I love having my breakfast sandwiches as a bagel. I love bagels. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get like either tea or water, probably going to be tea, and I'll come straight here. Hi. I love the comments y'all are making about the Fitzburgers. I'm sure that's a cliffhanger. I do have tea, but it is piping hot. It's a ginger. Uh, it's like a ginger black tea, but I don't think the black tea is actually black tea. I think it's like something else. So the way they have it in my family with Fitzburgers is that it's a meatloaf. You make it like a meatloaf with some breading, definitely a soup onion mix that you get from the store. More oniony, garlicky, the better. And of course, egg as binding agent. All the stuff you need to make the meatloaf. Probably not a lot of breading. And just mush it together, make the patties, and there you go. It's very thick, meaty hamburgers. They're like meatloaf patties. And that's a Fitzburger. And I think any version of how you do your meatloaf will be a good variation of it because it's essentially a meatloaf. But if you are able to like smother it in barbecue instead of ketchup, if you have your own soup onion herb mix, that's cool. You don't have to have breading in it, but it's like gotta have the consistency of a meatloaf. And that's what makes the burger good. Oh, let me do a garden. Ew, green, black tea, ew, green tea, yum. Oh, that's just the environment. Okay. Oh, with tombstones. That's silly. Okay, so where do I have I earned them yet? Okay, there we go. And can I get... Okay, so these are tents. No, these are sidings. Actually, I need something that has more boundaries, so let me get out of here. Yes. Did they change this? Hold on. How do I get into the town? Oh, there we go. So I did the floating house. There's the meditation space. There's the potion laboratory. That sounds cool. Spy headquarters. Cat paradise. Ooh, kitty cat paradise would be nice. Another camper renovation. An art studio. A fern, an oak, a palm tree. Hmm. I wanted something that had some structure that will help me, you know, Bounce off of the idea. Garage to home cinema. Ooh. Vampires welcome. Okay, that's cool. Reading nook. Oh, that's cute. Garden retreat. Ooh, maybe I could start with this so I could have a garden thing set up. I think that's about it. Oh, and a gamer room for gamers. I was thinking maybe a garden retreat. Yeah, oh, this would be cute. This would be cute. And by doing these tutorials, we'll be able to unlock some stuff and learn along the way. What a tranquil garden. Let's get rid of those mushrooms in the flower bed. I like the mushrooms. Fantastic. I think we should add some flowers to the flower bed just to brighten it up. Um, what flowers? I want something more, which is dangerous. Oh, there are some like cute little logs. Those are little choo-choo train tracks. That's a jewelry box. I don't like how they set this up. I want a menu. Well, I can select whatever I want. Let me also change this palette. That's very soothing. Okay, that's a little bit dusky. Okay, let me start with this, but let me change it. There's just a little bit brighter. Just a little bit greener. Maybe that's too on the nose. Maybe a little bit purpler. There we go. Okay. How do I save it? Okay, well, I got that. Lou, how do I find what I want? That doesn't help me. Hmm. I don't know. Oh, that's just the. Oh. I know they made an update to this game. But I don't know if the update has ruined some things. got trees. Roots. Warm fantasy bar. Okay. Oh! Oh! You could pet your little homie. I didn't realize that. Wow. Okay, so that's just the environment. Oh! There we go. So I had to get out of that tab, whatever it was. So I was lost because I was deep in the folder. There we go. Let me loosen this up a little bit. Plants and garden. Here we go. Yay, I found it. Ooh, a sunflower would be so cute. Though I would like to have soil. Maybe some soil in this pottery will be nice. Oh, maybe I could put some grass in it after I'm done. Now, with all sunflowers, we need to give it a friend. But this one is just a little short and really cute. And a little bit on the warmer side. There we go. I could do this? Okay. Oh my god. Already, I love this music so much. Can't really move it too much the way I like. I can't wait for Pair of Lives. Ooh, what will go? We have our thrill. I need a spiller. Nothing's really spilling over except for these. So here, here. No, I'm not done. Shush. I'm not done. No. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. It needs to be on the ground. Is this only on the wall? What? Okay, there we go. But we need earth. We need earth underneath it because that's just stone. I think they're trying to make it where you can have a trellis. Actually, no, hold on. No, this, but it's shorter. There we go. There. Okay. Now it looks like a proper. Oh no. Okay, there it goes. Now that looks like a proper garden. I'm gonna give a little bit of grass. Oh wait, that's hanging. That's hanging. Okay. And just a little bit of something there. Actually, that may be too much. Just, nope. I think I need the little tiny spiky ones. There we go. And then we miniaturize and vivid. There we go. Okay, that kind of looks like a proper small garden. Not great, but it will do. Let's make this bigger. And that a little bit smaller. Like it's that pattern. Something like that. E. And make this a little bit smaller too. Okay, not bad. You're doing excellent. It would be great to have a place to sit. Start by finding two comfortable chairs for outdoor use. Hmm. Chairs and benches. There's a rocking chair that I could use. There's an outdoor chair. I want to make this. I want to make them a little bit bigger because that's in relation to the door. Someone walks in, sits down, appreciates this. We probably need some sort of runner. No, a table, an outdoor table. Yes! Now put a table down with glasses of lemonade. We're on the same page. Ooh, what do we have? I wonder if I can make it translucent. Actually, this would be cute. And can I? Oh, I can't. Oh no. Where did it go? Okay, I'm gonna have to start over. I can't make it translucent like glass, which is on me. In fact, I don't know if there's anything that has a proper translucency here. And I think that's what's missing in this game. There we go. The nut was digging into my forehead. Okay, that's pretty cute. Let's try to match. Oh, that is cute though. Okay, and then we could have this match the same orangey color. Okay, I like that. Copy, paste. Ah, awesome. And we need to size this up a little bit more. There we go. Not bad. I feel like this could go back a little bit. Hmm. This is not feng shui. There it goes. Now, okay, this needs to be round. I realize that now. This needs to be round. We need to have a round table. Something like this. Okay, so I'm fussing over this because of the flow for this little backyard garden. We have this door. We have a bunch of clutter here. And then we have this little garden, which is absolutely darling. And we have all this greenery here. If you first try square, true. I could try a square. I think a round would be nice. I think I need to make this a little bit smaller. Just for the size that we're having here. And I think that's what my issue is. I'm trying to be proportionate to the door and the people that could like step through the door to sit in these chairs. And I think that's what's really throwing me off. I want them to enjoy the garden. At the same time, I also want them to I think that's a good compromise. You have something like this and something like this. And this goes just around here. Everyone's able to sit and scoot and whatever, and it kind of fits the flow of the situation. I kind of like the clutter here, honestly. I think it's really darling. I think it gives it character, and I want to keep it that way. Kind of don't like that the bags are in that corner, um, which makes me want to put these here just a little bit. And have it lean up against this. Yeah. Now it gives a little bit more room for things to breathe. So now, homie wants some lemonade. Alright, let me take a sip from this. Some of my own tea. That's a slushy, that's a bottle. Oh, you guys can't see what's behind my screen. Whoops. Hold on 1 second. There you go. Now you can see. You can see what I'm fussing on. Fussing with. Oh my god. I can speak. I think that's a jar of stuff. That's a teapot. That's a kettle. That's sushi. Spice rack. With and without spices. Oh, the pit. The same thing on the ground here. Now it makes me wonder what the heck are these? Are these actually soil or flour? Hmm. There's a potion. They all have lids, which doesn't tell me they're lemonade. That's my issue right now. Tupperwares. I love that. That might be close. There's some glass. Short glass full with liquid. Long glass. So I could use these instead. Actually, yeah. Let me get rid of these and use these. But I'm gonna change the color. And I wish I have a pitcher that holds the liquid, the lemonade. Because normally you have a pitcher of lemonade. That's what we do over here. Picture of a drink? No, like picture as in Pitcher. I had to think for a moment. This is a crime. They don't have that type of pitcher. They have jars. Don't know what this is. No sangria pitcher? Yeah. It's the worst. They haven't thought of everything. It makes me sad. I think this will have to do. So I'm gonna change the color to what it would normally look like. That's about it. Refreshing. It would be great to have a bit of shade, so maybe we should plant a tree in our little garden. You could lump it. Where am I going to put a tree? And what kind of tree? Can a mushroom be a tree? I don't think an indoor plant is going to work. But looking at Pair Lives, and they had it where you can size down any plant that's in a pot and you can move it just right where it can be on any tiny shelf or anywhere really in the house or room. It's so flexible, you can have it sized down and move to wherever you want to have any shelf that you want. And even the shelf in the mirror, some of the mirrors have shelves in it. You can put one on there. So it's something that customizable and that powerful. That makes me feel limited in a game like this and Make Room. Which Make Room is absolutely cute and stylized. Don't get me wrong, it is absolutely darling. But there are some limitations to this that make me feel watering pitcher. Nice. I am not done. Because we need shade, right? That would do it. It's a good thing I moved this over. In fact, now that I see it, I want this to be propped up against this a little bit more. Yeah. Ah, perfect. Now it looks a little bit a proper messy workspace. I like that. Let's get some flowers. Oh, whoops. What did I do? Um, Here we go. So this is where these go, really. They go here. And I want one right here. I want some hanging down too. Oh, actually, that should be fine. That looks like it will hang down a little bit. I think that's good. May want the color here to be of a different hue. Hold on. Copy. Paste. Okay, I'm gonna redo this. Okay, that's close. That's pretty close. Let's get the doorknob a softer color instead of this sharp white. Okay, that's good. Let's see how this goes. Yeah. And let's try this. I think that's nice. Ooh, how about I get some string lights here along this space, just hang it up. Some lights. Here we go. It's kind of hard to tell what they are. What's the difference? Oh, these have bats. Oh, this is a steeper circle. which is not a bad idea. Oh, that's so twinkly. I like that. I like the twinkle. And that has pumpkins. Okay, that's cute. Let's get the twinkles. Hopefully I could like put it up here. And let me just do it again. It's just floating up there. Let me just grab this here and then okay. Let me scoot it back. And let me scoot this up. There we go. Oh, no. We need it. Yeah, I love this. Okay, one more. And that should do it. That gives a little bit of a cute little ambiance in this section. Though I have to say this is kind of making me nervous how this cuts off at the edge here. So let me try to extend this out a little bit. There we go. Ooh, maybe I should have like little lights here. I wonder if there's like, that might be too bright. That might be too bright. Maybe here? Just duplicate one here and just have it here, I guess. That may be too bright. I don't know. Let me see what nighttime looks like. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Though I think I should move these inside the plants. Gives them a sense that okay, maybe it's a wrong idea. Okay. We need something else. I think probably something here around the chairs would be nice. Oh my god. We should have it. It's a cute little ball. Oh my god, look at this! Fireflies! Oh, this is so magical. Let me scooch this one over here real quick. And that way I could have this one. See that? There we go. Okay. That looks so magical. Maybe just one in there. There we go. That is so cute. I'm so glad I discovered that. Let me see if there's anything else I could do to like create like a candle over there for that little seating area. That might work. That's normally on the floor. That's funny. A lava lamp would be funny. That's normally on the floor. Ooh, a candle. Here we go. Yeah. Oh my god. That's like intense. Maybe not that intense. Okay, that's perfect. Though I want something to do with this because it's gonna melt. And I think I need to give a cover for it. Maybe I could find it in accessories. No, maybe it's under kitchen. Hold on. Maybe it's kitchen. No, that's cabinets. Kitchen appliances. That's appliances. Maybe I should do it under food. There we go. So I'm thinking maybe this type of coaster. Or like a bowl. Or a dish. Actually, oh, that's a dinner plate. Never mind. Okay, a pot holder it is. And we'll shrink it down. It's not going to be perfect. There we go. That works. That works. There we go. Wonderful nighttime in the garden. Though I think I probably should put something in there. Hmm. No, that's perfectly fine, Amber. You are absolutely okay. All you missed is just me fussing around in this garden. Oh. Why? She dropped this in my lap after she was done with her nap. What are you? Okay, you want me to remove it? Okay. She literally woke up, came up to me, pushed off my little keyboard rest. You are silly. You are lucky I love you. She is giving me these really tired eyes where one is kind of like slowly closing. She's kind of like awake but not awake. She's trying to decide what her mood is. Sort of blinking one eye faster than the other eye. And that's kind of where she is. Alright. Now we got through that. Ooh, this is where her mood is potato. I do need potatoes in my life. Ooh, excuse me. I need them more. Ooh, I kind of like this, though I don't know what this is. Now, this is like Christmas filter, where everything's a little bit cooler and clearer, duskier. Don't know what this is, but this is kind of radical. So, okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. We got a cute little garden. That really looks so great. And sunset and sunrise. Really cute place. And of course, we could turn these off during the daytime. I love this. I love this so much. This is like so magical. Okay. Save. A new. We move on to the next thing. Oh, that sounds so cozy. Okay, meditation space. That's a little bit too cerebral for me. Potion laboratory might be very whimsy. A reading nook would be also really cute. A camper renovation, I don't know. That may be a little bit too difficult for me right now. You know, I'm gonna do a reading nook. I think that would be nice. Uh oh. She's awake. And she may pounce the monitor. Let's create a cozy reading nook in this room. Start by finding a comfortable armchair. I can't because this wallpaper is ick and I'm gonna change it. Um, just no. I don't know if I like. Okay, Sasha is blocking my monitor right now. She wants to chase. Oh, I realized that this is painted stone. Ah. No, don't. I need to see. I'm disturbed that this is like tile and it should be like wallpaper. I don't know what that is. But at the same time, I'm not getting any sort of wallpaper designs. I completely agree with you. Good. I don't like the wallpaper at all, the color. Yeah, the color is throwing me off. It is a little bit bright, you know? I want something a little bit subdued. This is so... I don't mind this. But only if I'm able to make it where... That's the only thing. And this becomes blank. Hold on. I have to think. This is blank. And this is going to be our brick wall of sorts. Too bad I can't really like get into the grooves. Ooh, I kind of like that color. I'm gonna keep that. Now this should be a contrasting color. I think that works. I think that works. That's a perfect fit. So this should be carpet. Not getting carpet. Oh my god, what did I do? Oh my god, nope. Too much power. That's a lot of spices. Okay. Um, let's see. I don't know if I want. It should be purple to mix the two, though I don't know. That might be too dreary. Let me start from here. I think that works, says the person wearing those exact. No! Hold on. Let me see. I think I am. Wait. This will work if I make Everything else like natural wood. Just to grab. Oh no 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 no! Wait. We need to make this like a nice smoky black. Oh, that would tie everything together. That would tie everything together. Yes. And boom. Ooh, wait, no. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait until I get this. It. Yeah. Okay, that works. We don't need this clock. Get out of here. We don't have time for time. This is actually a fun question. What color combos will you wear if but not design with? I cannot do um like really high strong warm colors. Like the colors that are warm have to be mellow enough or dirty enough for me to wear it. So that way I can overpower it, but it does washes me out. I'm technically a clear winter or like a cold winter. Not cold winter, like a bright winter. So my wardrobe doesn't really reflect that because I keep gravitating toward like warm festival colors like oranges, yellows, this type of purple, red, blue combo. And it doesn't always work with me. And I have a tendency, like for the longest time, gravitate to like some really saturated periwinkle kind of colors, even though it does nothing for me. So the really high saturated colors I could definitely wear, and I would love playing with desaturated different shades of color. But lately, I've been wanting stronger, poppier color. So this will be counterintuitive to what your question is posing. Because I would totally wear these colors, but the red will have to be more blue and brighter. So, thus, I would not use these colors for something for me to wear, but I would have to design with them. I have to have strong, punchy, cold tone or cool tone colors, like a true blue red, without any sort of warmth in it. Almost to the point where it's got to be like a fuchsia mauve color. I've been told I could wear pink. I could handle wearing pink. And it's the type of pink that's like in your face pink, like a really bright fuchsia. And I'm not ready to wear that kind of pink, even though I can pull it off. Like this pink on my lips, technically, I can do it. I can pull it off. I just don't like that. I'm a little bit more subdued in my taste. Or at least not like so neon. Because I saw a lot of neon in my childhood. And I really don't want that anymore. There was way too much neon in the 90s. Yep, that is a hot fuchsia. That's a hot fuchsia pink that I'm wearing. It's kind of hard to tell because the filter that I have ups the saturation and makes the colors a little bit redder. So it looks more red than making it pink. It's actually cooler. In fact, you see a lot more pink and reds in this film, but in real life, I'm actually not this pink. I'm a lot paler and clearer. My face is red, which I think is because I went out and had some sun and I burn easily. So this is just me being exposed to sun. I'm not wearing any foundation right now. It's just my lipstick. I have a little bit of blush, and I have something to define my eyes, which is a very dark brown. Yes, this is a filter. I have changed the filter on and off because I'm trying to make it realistic to what I'm seeing, and I see it in a little bit more of a punchier color. The film makes it very desaturated and very lifeless, and I don't really see that wood that I'm seeing. I'm kind of seeing that type of intensity. So what you see in film is what I'm seeing, though I'm sure that I look a little bit duller in real life. There's got to be a way. There we go. So if I hide it, this is what the camera picks up. And it is terrible. Absolutely god awful. This is why I use filters. It's very desaturated, very lifeless, in my opinion, even though it's what it's really saying. So I tend to see things a lot brighter, chippier, with a higher saturation, with a little bit of warmth. And I try to match with what I'm seeing, but the camera picks this up. So without the color correction, you see a lot more saturation of colors with a slight warmth to it. So again, without filters, what you can't tell, I'm in a bit paler. I am blue. I do have very strong blue tones. And it does work with what I'm wearing. It is very highly saturated. In fact, you can see the red here. It does come through. But this brings everything to life. So I look warmer than I really am. But that's kind of how I see the world. I see the world perkier than what the film will pick on. I think it's lighting. I don't have a lot of lights here. It's a lot dingier. I do have to lock this side window here so that way you won't have this really sharp um, color, this sharp lighting here that creates a hard contrast. I have to close the blinds so that way there's a little bit of softness that comes from the light, but by doing so, I don't have enough. So I have a little lamp here that's a warm light, sadly, that is in this corner. Eventually, I would like to have a light that is more neutral or like cool tone. I have this little tiny desk light here that comes up to my face, which you could kind of see with my glasses, that little ring light. Technically, it should be up and higher in the upper corner to like filter down on me to like off balance the side light here. And I don't have that. I really need to rearrange everything. And of course, I have this backlight space for overhead for the bedroom, which, you know, I have a love hate relationship with overhead lights. Sometimes it gets a little bit harsh. Blue is a neutral, green too. It's fascinating we consider green as a neutral now. For the longest time, people don't. And I find it fascinating that we have roped that in into a neutral palette. And I think it's because of the Olive Brigade a few years back. If it wasn't for olive and khaki, we may not consider green as a neutral. There's also a reason why I'm going very blue with my clothes and my jewelry and everything else. It's the only things that I have that really works with this summer. In fact, the current spring and summer palette is very warm leaning, in my opinion. I haven't really checked up on the fall and winter, and I feel like I'm also gonna have very little choices with the color palette. I think it's gonna be another like blue movement for fall and winter for me. But I think I might have some hero colors that might be able to save the day. I also don't know if I'm going to have black for fall and winter. I normally do, but I may want to shake things up. This is how I refresh my uh, my wardrobe. I have a I have a stack of clothes that have some range in colors that I've built up over the years, and I have been fortunate where if I don't have the color that I want, I will go ahead and buy it, which leads to some mistakes because I thought that I was a particular color palette or whatever it is, and sometimes it will clash. I learned the hard way that desaturated colors, even though I love the look, like my favorite gray shawl cardigan thing, it does not work with me because it's so gray. Well, it's not a cool tone gray. It's a soft gray. I need a harsh gray. I need a gray that's like striking, and that's hard to do. It goes with everything depending on the shades. Like bright green can't go with everything, but neutral tones do. Oh, natural tones do. Right. I think the natural tones are, if I remember right, have some level of orange. Most people are fairly warm. There's not a lot of people who are blue with our tones. So most people are very orangey. So I could see green working with most people because it is, depending how you do it. If you put in a bunch of yellow in the green, it works. Not everyone could pull off like a blue green, I realize. Okay, let me find. Let me find the color palette for this fall. I saved it. I saved it for myself. There we go. I've been collecting stuff for Bright Winter just so I could, like, in the future, buy colors that work with me. I could be wrong about the Bright Winter, but I'm still exploring myself and embracing that I'm slightly cool tone, but I really want something that is highly saturated, which is why the slippers I love because it's a high saturated true red. But without the filter, I'll look warm-ish. I'm technically a neutral. I have both. Um, I'm on both sides, but I do tend to go a little bit cooler. I do gravitate towards that. Okay, so the New York Fashion Week has like a minty green, the color to Neptune green, which I don't know I could pull off. I'm gonna be honest. That looks a little bit warm. But the festival fuchsia, all aboard, I could definitely do. Everything else looks very warm and a little bit muddy in the sense where it's toned or grayed or like it's not like a true punchy color. So I'm gonna do fuchsia. I'm gonna do this really striking blue called all aboard, and there's like some neutrals like this really nice navy blue, not like a dark navy, but like a strong navy blue, and maybe like some grays. Do I have an orange top? I had this one top that is a motley. Sure, I'll humor you. I think I do. I really took away those tops. I know for sure I could not handle creams. I gotta have crisp white. For sure. So let me get something orange. Okay. Now, this is a very strong orange. It's not going to show up well. But this is the strongest orange that I have, along with this yellow. So, like I said, the filter is actually not. The filter is actually correct. To what I'm saying. Which, my face is a lot redder than my actual arms. For my arms, it's not a good mix. Because it is very blue. Well, not blue blue, but it makes it ghastly pale. But my face is pretty red. When I have a foundation on, I do match it to my neck. And my neck is this color. Which is pretty pale. So if I match it to this, it may be hard to see, but it doesn't really work. Yeah. So when I use foundation, I match to this and what's on my neck. And I'm a lot paler than what this face is. And it is a neutral. It is a neutral. It's not a warm. It's not. I keep saying cool because it's slightly cool, but it is a neutral. I'm like neither warm, neither cold. I'm a neutral. But I do like really strong, punchy, saturated colors, which is why I'm saying I'm a bright. And I learned that I cannot handle beige. I cannot handle beige. I cannot handle creams. I need like a crisp white, and it works with a very crisp black. Like the black has to be pretty strong. So I can play with everything. Technically, I can, but it's gotta be strong, saturated colors that are like primary colors, but I cannot find the right yellow for me. In fact, it's better off if I don't do anything. It's safer, I should say. It's safer for me to stay away with most yellows and oranges. I do have one dress that was kind of going against with the palette that I have right now, where it is what you call it? It is a kind of like a pumpkin yellow. It's a mellow yellow with some blue in the orange, and it has a lot of blue stripes through it and some black. So I know that in order to have the blue to work with the orange, you gotta have some blue in the orange in order for it to even like look good. So that's why I was able to wear that type of sunny yellow orange kind of dress, is because it has that blue undertone going through it. That is way too small. I may have to punch this up. Also, I don't like these kind of couches. Except maybe a rocking chair, so let me make this big. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey figuring out my palette, what I like and don't like. And I've discovered this last year at PopCon, that I realized, hey, most of these colors actually work with me. Maybe I was wrong about being a dark winter, where I had a very strong contrast with my hair and my skin, and my hair was darker. But I realized that I'm not exactly like a cold color person. I'm a high saturated person. So it took me a long, long, long time for me to realize, hey, this works for me and this doesn't work for me. In fact, there's some articles in my closet right now that don't work with me completely, but I could get by. I could skate by wearing them. Um, but they don't really do anything for me, but they don't hurt me. I have a lot of those. So if there was like a bunch of money that is one, I do need to like update my wardrobe. Simply because I've been hanging on to stuff that were just mid, but don't really like work. And the reason why I stayed away from saturated colors was because my view on life isn't really like high punchy, happy, optimistic, yay. I really like the, not earthy tones, but like more of nature tones. Um, that reminds me of nature. That reminds me that, there is some blue and greens and purples I like those colors, especially the blues and greens. I've been hoarding a lot of those colors, and once in a while, I like gravitate to like lavender. But mix blues and greens. Sometimes I accidentally get into the summer territory, so I had to be careful. I know what you mean. I went through the phase where I only wore cool tones, but now I do a little bit of everything. Both warm and cool, but mostly warm because I am warm. Right. Neutrals, I just use anything. Earthy, farmhouse colors mostly. Can we talk about what people consider nostalgia? I am not okay. I am not okay that people consider um, this to be like nostalgic. I'm not okay. I'm not. Like millennial pink. I didn't realize there was a pink just for that age. And everyone was going on and on about like how this is the color of back then. I'm like, no, there were others. Stop. Please stop. No, that's too close. By the way, people, you gotta keep your plants alive. Put them in front of a window. That's where they belong. I don't make the rules. Keep your plants alive. Put them in front of the window. Also, too, a lot of people go for these styles that they saw on like celebrities and um, models, but the average person were doing the whole pajama lingerie trend, along with the wide Jinko jeans and low risers, which I'm sure a lot of people saw like wide legs and low rise all the time with some crops. But the crops are down to your hip, your top hip points, and that was it. You may be able to show some belly button, but not too much. The crop tops that most people are doing are like ending at the last rib, and that is too much to what it was back then. You didn't get anything higher until like until much later. To me, the 2000s were like the 90s, just more cleaned up. Yep. A lot of celebrities back then were having a bunch of scandals, which the media likes to create a scandal for no reason other than to like bring a celebrity down. And I realized that sometimes what we fuss over wasn't worth it. It was just to like, oh my god, this is shocking about something that actually didn't matter because we deal with worse now. A lot worse. Wait, these are actually more comfy. What the heck? Hold on. Oh my god, this is cute. Mostly white. Yeah, it's actually, the color was not pink. It was this weird, bright light white. It was this millennial white that just washed everything over. And the mentality was back then that everything was, it's a new dawn, it's a new day type of situation. So they think the future is going to be bright. So everything was washed out in this white because we're living the future now. It was wild. So a lot of the Backstreet Boys, a lot of the pop bands, not pop bands, boy bands, bands, you see a ton of white everywhere. I'm not seeing pillows. Oh, these are pillows? Ew. Look at that. Ugh. Okay, so I'm gonna construct one where it's kind of like this. You kind of have this. Okay, let me get rid of this. Kind of like a lounging bed kind of situation. Like that. So let's make this a little. Okay. Oops. Okay. Hold on. There we go. But I'm going to change the colors where it's a lot appealing. A lot more appealing. So, like a lounge on the floor kind of situation here. And maybe a tinier pillow. Like that. And maybe I could like make it. Oh, a blue. Perfect. Let me do that. Do like a little nice little blue here. And let's make this probably like a pastel. Actually, that works. That works. That works with that palette. And that's a little tiny pillow. I want to have floor time, but be comfortable time. And let me go ahead and start putting a bunch of books piled up here. Okay. Gonna duplicate. Do this. Do that here, and then like shake up the palette. There we go. And this one could have like a little tiny, tiny standing side desk. I think that would be cute. And eventually I will fill up the bookshelves with stuff. I remember one of the elementary schools that I went to, they painted all the door frames in primary colors. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. But the rest of the inside of the building was white, mid-century modern style. Well, they do have to... I am so sorry for you. I would agree, like, having those type of white walls to, like, have, I don't know, something like scatter colors on it to make it a little bit more creative and artistic. But, whoo, I'm so sorry. There we go. And that way we have room for a little chair or a little table. I don't think I have anything tall. Oh, wait. I do need a lamp. Ah, yes. That's perfect. When you get a little bit tired of floor time, so you need this. Well, let's change the palette up where this is just a darker. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it so much. All right, we need like a tiny end table. Like absolutely tiny. End table. Nope. Okay. And oh, never mind. Okay. I'm gonna have to resize it. That might work when I make it bigger. I'm afraid that the legs will be too broad. I may have to. Oh wait, that might work. Okay. No, no, I'm not done. You can't do this to me. Um, okay, that works. All right, there we go. Ooh, I do need to turn on the AC, which I know that would be very disruptive, but I have to because it is 77 degrees Fahrenheit in here, which is very hot. Okay. I have to. I have to, y'all. Alright. So So, normally, I would love to have probably like a pile of books. Kind of like that, I guess. Or maybe like this. And then we have a book here that we're reading. And let's see, we need a mug. Because we need a mug. That's nice. I like that. Okay, now it's time to fill in the bookshelves. And most of my bookshelves usually have just a bunch of books in it. I don't do a lot of bookshelf decorations. And you're gonna hate this. They're all gonna have random colors. They're not gonna be organized. Because look at this. They're not organized at all. Not at all. Just find a hole, put them in. That's my organization. I don't have anything cute hanging off of them. I know this is controversial, but I really don't. I may have plants on top of this, or knickknacks. Now these, I probably will put on their side. Just because. Oop. Okay, let me fix this. There we go. And the reason why they would be on their side, because they're pretty big. And it's not working the way I thought it would. I'm gonna have to delete this. There's gonna be some books that are just too big. They're gonna have to be on their side. And I'm just gonna make this gimba a little bit. So it's going to look something like this. Nature calls, go for it. Oh wait, let me read what you wrote here. By the time I was in middle school, it was the same thing, but the trim was now black. The rooms are white, but the accents are teal, dark teal blue, dark navy blue, dark hunter green, warm wood, and smooth grainless patterns. Oh my god. The grainless wood, that looks very plastic. I hate those. And it just looked and felt like an office, but with lockers. The 8th grade wing has a sunken seating area, like it all has a floor that sags. That's sad. When you're back, I have like a bit of a story for you. Actually, this should go over here. But round. Oh, like where it's a step down. You can actually step down and meet. Okay, that makes sense. Actually, okay. This has to go. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. No. 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 Oh my god. This is the worst. They don't have undo your mistakes button. Alright, you know what? This goes. And this goes. Okay, I feel better now. Sort of. I can't believe this happened to me. Everything was fine. Okay. That is weird. That's weird logic. I understand, but oh my god, I hate it. Okay. Gonna do the same here. I may put like something cool in here, like a snow globe or something. May do that. Maybe this will have something in between. I don't know. So let's see if there's something cool I could put in there. Oh my god, this is darling. That is cute. That's going here. That's awesome. I love that. I love that so much. Okay. Pop off. Don't know what to add. in between. Like here and here. Don't know. Like they almost thought of everything and they kind of don't in some sense. Okay. That should work. Ooh, a binky. Yeah, I like that. And I may change up the color here. Just to kind of work with that palette. There. That works. Alright, let's get some plants coming down here from the top of the bookshelf. That's what I would love to see. I don't have that, and I would love to have something trail down over the bookshelves. I'm gonna have to create that look. Okay. So we're gonna have to make it look like that. And then do a trail. That kind of does it. I think I need to make this smaller. Just so it looks like I just can't. I can't even right now. I'm trying to create like a trailing vine type of thing, and it's like pretty limited. Generic plant. This is what I get for like knowing too much about plants, and then like look at some of these games and go, you could do better. You could actually like do better. No. No. Here we go. I know this little dude is not going to get a lot of sun, so I'm going to move this guy over. There we go. Now I want something behind here. And I think it's going to be a poster. Let's see. Wall decoration. Here we go. They suck. I can't wait to do pair lives. I don't want to be rude. I'm sorry if y'all like absolutely adore this game. But sometimes the style kind of takes over too far. No. 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 Picture. Oh my god, thank goodness. Never mind, it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. Okay, kind of like the idea of like a picture of a woman kind of situation. Can't really see anything with that. Not an abstract girly, to be honest. Not really doing it for me. This kind of works because it would be a picture of a person. I think we're going to make this a little bit smaller. Move this over a little bit more. There we go. Now, I want to figure out what to do with this corner here. But in order for me to do that, I've got to use the restroom, so I'm going to take a quick BRB, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I really want to do something here, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. But until then, I think I'm just going to make this come in a little bit more. These pre-settings are not what I'm expecting. Alright, so I guess what do y'all think? I wish there's something there. And I may not need something there, but it feels like I want to fill something in. So maybe I should just do a rug to create a reading zone. That sounds cool. That way you can make it the way it should be. I don't think they were entirely wrong with the one you sent about like with the change for you middle school. That was kind of like what I had experienced in my later schools, where it was just a stark white with a strong contrasting trim. That makes sense. If a teacher was there for like a really long time, they'll be able to like have the room painted in a certain way and be able to like do what they want with it if they've been there for like years and years. I know like one room had like a different paint color than another. So one English teacher was able to make it like very warm and homey and wonderful to like sit in. I think it was like a nice terracotta brown, if I remember. Maybe not a terracotta brown, but it had like a brick red that was able to be grounded with some strong wood. Like a strong woody color. It looked great back then. Don't know what it is now. Oh, you want to replicate it. Fascinating. You know, those type of colors with a really sharp white with the contrasting trim, those were like the farmhouse colors that they were pushing in the 2010s. Especially like 2013. That was literally the style they were pushing. This townhouse, country, farmhouse, but minimalism aesthetic. It was weird. Did I ever tell you that I started school in a building that used to be a literal asylum? No. I'm glad they converted into something happier. Well, relatively happier. What time is it? Okay, we have one more hour of this. I think I'm just going to put a zone here and then call it for the day. And oh, let me get back into this. Where was it? Oh, there it is. I want a circle, but I know it can't be a circle. Okay, maybe not a square. Definitely like this. But I need to have it take up the space. Like that. Or maybe just one more, just so I can do this. Okay, just one more. There we go. There. And let me see what color palettes come up. Okay. That might work. I usually like a decorative pattern on a rug. And I wonder if there's a way to create that. No, I guess not. I guess we're gonna get stuck with a no. That should work. There we go. Create a zone. There you go. Though I think I need to make this. There we go. That works. Though now I'm looking at this red doesn't really do well. So I'm going to change it up to a different red. I remember it was so odd too. Looked like a fair elementary but had office vibes mixed with Gothic cathedral. Wow. There is a historical middle school in my town that's been there in the late 1800s. And there were photos of the past middle schoolers being there in their normal attire, sitting there in class that looked fairly close to what it did back then. Of course, you know, they repainted things, they tried to make it look a little bit more polished, but it was one of those middle schools that they have branches. You have the East Wing and the West Wing area. You have this staircase that branched up and go to the second level. And if you go into the central part, that's where the gymnasium is and the cafeteria. So the bigger part of the building is where most of the major physical activities were. But the West Wing and the East Wing were like your classes and lockers. And sadly, we were so big as a student population where they had to have a bunch of, what you call it? It's these containers. They're kind of like mobile houses, but for classrooms. And they have these mobile houses out back, so you had to walk outside to go and get these. And I had like a social studies and I think like a English class out there in those mobile units. And they're trying to renovate it where they could like add in more classes to accommodate all the students. For some reason, my generation was like a growth spurt generation. There was like a huge population increase in the town. So they had a hard time accommodating all the students. And it took like a fight for everyone to get another school. to like actually accommodate everyone. It was wild. Uh, don't know how it is now. I really hope none of the students had to deal with those mobile classes because it was a pain to get there during the winter. In Massachusetts, the schools can look like anything, but the ones that I've been to are mid-century modern, now level, with somewhat split-level buildings. Fascinating. It would make sense that as it grows, they will put in buildings representative of that time when they did the expansion. I'm very fortunate I was able to go to schools that were fairly historical, so I was able to enjoy the architecture of the time while I was going to and from classes. Except for my high school. My high school was, as you had said, mid-century modern, where it was just all one level. There was no up and down. That changed later, where they had like a second floor. To this day, I will have dreams where I go back to school, and it's like a split level, not split level, but like a first level, second level kind of situation. And sometimes I will have stuff from my middle school, sometimes I will have stuff from my high school. It's a very surreal kind of thing. And sometimes I will have like a dream of that building. Okay, that looks better. If I do it like a brick, we could kind of imagine that's a brick wall without making it dingier. I think that would do it. So let's see how this will look. Okay, a little bit cozy. I may want to put something here. Now, maybe this is my daytime reading nook, and this is like my evening setup. Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with this. I'm going to save it. And I'm going to find one more that I'm going to work on. Oh, I went the wrong way. Alrighty. I don't want anything too big. So let's do a camper renovation. Oh my god. This is awful. Whoa. This camper looks like it's been in hibernation since the disco era. Let's get rid of those cobwebs with a cleaning tool. Sweet. Oh, whoa. The floor is still full of dirt. Let's use a vacuum to clean it. Sasha is fighting the monitor again. I could hardly see anything. Time to rip out the old kitchen. It's seen better days, so it's best to start fresh. Okay, so let's move these over. because we need to keep these. We'll store this elsewhere. Oh my god, that's floating. That's awful. I wonder if it's going to give me issues. Is it really going to give me issues? It is! Oh no! Okay, so I do have to delete them. There's still some clutter laying around which prevents us from redesigning. Let's change that. No! There goes the pottery. Now we're cooking. Or at least we will be. Add some kitchen cabinets and don't forget a sink. I hate you. The kitchen was fine. The kitchen was wonderful. What are you talking about? Okay, so I normally start with a fridge. And I like a fridge about right here. That's how I like it. And let's get a cabinet where we do have a sink. But I think no, Sasha, I can't see. Thank you. I am not creative when it comes to kitchens. I really am not. I'm so minimalistic, it ain't even funny. So like doing this whole kitchen thing is kind of hard. In fact, let's get this thing here, move this over, get rid of this. Sasha, you're not helping. Down. Thank you. She's fine. I spooked her. I spooked her. Don't worry. I don't like how they're not touching. This is really bothering me. Okay, hold on. I didn't realize how much this is bothering me. This is so bothering me. I am doing everything wrong. How about this? Leave it. I don't like how... You know what? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Because this is where the garbage goes. No, I am not done. Don't do this to me. I am not done. I need to have a stove. And something to connect between the two. Ironing everything up is going to be a pain. And I don't like... There we go. Alright, and let's get this one over just right where it looks like there's no gaps. Because you can't clean those gaps. Thank goodness we could like go inside and merge in places like this. It's not perfect. But we'll have to do. Then we have this. And it's not where I would not... It's not where I want the fridge to be. Oh no, I thought this is a stovetop. What have I done? Where's the stove? There is no stove? What is this? You have to construct a stove entirely. You can't do this to me. What happened to like, oh, you know what? You know what? You know what I did wrong? I did not go to kitchen appliance. I was in the cabinets. That's what I did wrong. Whoops. I was about to go AWOL here. That might be dangerous. In fact, I'm going to scoot these over. What are you talking about? That's a stove. That is a stove. That's what they want? How dare you? Like this. I just realized I don't like what's happening here. Okay. And I want to have like cabinetry up here. So let's go back to the cabinetry. Like a bread box. That'd be nice. Oh, hold on. For appliances, you need a hood vent. That's big. That should be low enough, right? Should. Makes sense. Why is it different colors? What's happening here, brother? You know what? Let me just delete these. Alright. It's not perfect, but we don't want perfect. We want functional. That's not functional. That is bad. I guess I would just put a shelf. I'll just put a shelf. That's too big. We could size this down. Okay, that is actually a little bit cute. All right. That's not bad. Now I just need a little trash can here. I need something to like have a little stand up here. That may not work. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. Alright. Let's look for a trash can. Because you need a trash can. You always need a trash can. Especially in a kitchen. Though Tupperware is not a bad idea to like put something in. We don't. Hold on. Trash. Maybe it will show us. Yay! I found it. There we go. Okay, awesome. Let's add a table for our meals. Oh wait. Yeah, I guess I need a table. This would be difficult. Because the table goes out here? No. That is so not really doable, except for here. That is floating. Why are you floating? Hold on. And 2 chairs? Bruh. These are going to be the smallest set of chairs that you have. Okay, that's a table. They're not calling them chairs. How dare you? How dare you? Okay. Idea. Maybe. I have this. Actually, hold on. This, where it's one of those fold down, sit down type of things. It's cold in here, turn off the AC? Never. I hate this. I hate this because someone has to sit where the hub is. And this is the worst placement ever for someone to sit. They're not considering a chair, Chad. That's a baby chair. That's a baby chair. Maybe like a stool. Okay, they're calling it. I don't agree with it. $50°F in your state. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so bear with me. This is one of those where you can store these away. And this comes down. It's one of those collapsible tables, and you can store these away. In fact, hate to do this with the plant, but you can store it where the plant is. I just like plants. So there we go. I'm going to say this is done. I know I should like put stuff in there, but I don't want to. Raining and cold to reach the 30s. Ooh, that is a bit of a chilly time. In your comforter cocoon. Oh, having a space heater is really nice though. It's gotten warm where I am, where I live in the south, but not the deep south, but it's south. And it's already like humid for the past week or so, and it's been unusually warm. Usually we don't get it this warm until like summer, though technically we're kind of like there already. It's not unusual in the past like 10 years, 20 years that it will like be extremely hot in the May month. And then like it will dip down where it's a little bit chilled in June. So not really surprised about that. I did say, by the way, don't worry. This is where you can do it from scratch. Huh. Okay. Just checking some things. I think I can do another short one. I didn't realize how short that was. Don't want to do Cat Paradise because that's going to make me feel a lot of things. Actually, I think I'm good. I think I'm good right now. That's all I want to do. So I'm going to exit out from the game. Oh wait, hold on. There's a daily prompt. Gray cozy office. How about no? How about no? An office that's gray but cozy? I'm sure it can be pulled off, but no. Having a gray office to begin with is like upsetting. Okay. Spotify has to go through some ads and then I'll put on some music. I'm going to switch over to just chatting here. Talking about you, you're not a gray office building. Stop. Alright. Actually, having this really chill time doing make room is really nice. Maybe that prompt would be perfect for you. Make a cozy office that's gray. I think the only gray I could accept is a gray that has some warm tones in it. So that way it's not like too steel construction type of thing. And I think those type of grays could work with brick. At least brick feels, the texture makes it feel like it's a little bit natural with the brick. Even though it's pretty industrial, you know, the roughness of that brick with the red kind of tones to it will help pick up the red tone in the kind of grayish, red gray. I don't know. I think that's the only time I would accept gray in that type of setting. If it's like a post-industrial workspace. So I have fun. I really have fun. Tonight, I may try to do some work. Maybe like try to write in my book a little bit. I don't know. Like the past few days, I've been like thrown off course and trying to get my footing. And earlier this week, it was really nice. I was able to get a lot of things done. And like Thursday on was like, no. Actually, now I think about it, it's just Thursday on. It was just a weird, nope, can't really do things. Oh, no, like is a strong word when it comes to like gray in a physical space. I usually don't. I don't like gray. I could tolerate it. Let me rephrase it. Tolerate that type of gray if it has some red tones and if it's paired with brick. And if the trimming is like a really darker shade of gray, I could accept that. Like a charcoal. But I cannot. I cannot live in a place or have a bathroom that has like gray predominantly. I can't. Accent walls called dark auburn. And the other walls are light gray. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I am bashing your style. I am so sorry. That's not me. Traditional is an interesting term because I don't consider gray as traditional. Definitely not colonial. I say like colonial as being traditional. And it depends on what tradition you're talking about. Are you talking like mid-century traditional? Are you talking about turn of the 1900s traditional? Which tradition are we talking about here? Not mine. A beadboard wainscoting. I heard about those. Let me look it up. Just so I could be on the same page. Oh. Let me see. Yeah, I'm still in just chatting. Hopefully the category had changed to make room. If not, I definitely will put that in the VOD. Let's see. I'm sure I'll have these terms in my head when I start like playing Parasocial. Paralives. That's what I meant. That new video game Paralives. I'm trying to look up wainscoting, and it is slow. It's very slow. Love colonial style crown molding too. Not thin or thick though. Medium size is good. You like it just right. Wooden composite paneling applied to the lower portion, usually the bottom third. Oh, it's just paneling. It's vertical paneling. But some people just do it vertically from top to bottom. Oh, jeez. No. Oh my god, no. Why? There we go. I could finally say I don't like that ad. So sorry. That's going to be so triggering when it comes to jam. The Goldilocks syndrome, yeah. Everyone's definition of medium, not too thick or too thin, is so different from another person. You had to have it. The personal preference of what is considered medium changes dramatically. My issue is that I am very flexible. And I don't have a lot of things in my life when I was growing up. So anything slightly extra than a bare wall with normal floor crown molding will be like a cool thing to have. Like, oh, I have crown molding in the central of the room here. That's so cool. Until it like becomes a problem. Even though it doesn't like do anything because the paint, both top and bottom, the same color. And I'm not allowed to like paint. Not with this landlord. Okay, so I get it. I get what you were talking about having that. It's not a bad idea. Oh, let me show everyone what I was saying. I finally found something that's very similar, totally different color scheme. Honestly, would not have this type of table here in the bathroom. That would ruin everything because of the humidity. I keep forgetting that you figure those type of things out well ahead of time. I would not even consider how many inches I would like things to have. Crown is 3.5 inches. Door window trim is 4. Baseboards are 4, along with chair railings with semi-gloss finish. True. True. You are a interior designer. I will feel like it's a little off center to have like a crown that's only 3.5, but everything is a 4. That will put everything off, in my opinion. I'm debating whether to actually work on my book on Monday or not, because Monday's normally when I stream writing stuff. I know I'm behind this week. I really haven't took the time at night to like work in it, despite like what's been going on. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, especially for like tonight. I may like write a little bit in my book tonight. But lately, I haven't been doing that. I've been pretty bad. I also need to like work on the ad for June, and everyone keeps mowing and sawing wood and doing a lot of noise outside, and I can't record anything. So I'm hoping that maybe I could find like a time where I can record tomorrow. When you see how the pair together, it doesn't look too offset. Yeah, if I have the time, I may like compare what they have here. I don't think it's that wide. I think what I have around here is about a 3 or a 2. Anything bigger would be like an obstruction. Oh, sorry. Part of me wants to work in my book for a Monday stream, but also part of me wants to ensure that I actually have fun and like work on my fanfic on Monday. My problem when it comes to like rating on after a Monday stream and I'm trying to look for another person who's writing to rate is that people are showcasing what they're writing. And that upsets me so much. Because unless it's like a fanfic, unless it's something that you're not going to monetize, I don't want people to like steal their stuff or like look through and go, oh yeah, I'll take that. Or like make it like known in the title, hey, just a fanfic. Or like, this is reading off people's works, online or something like that. I really don't feel comfortable about rating into a writing channel that is showcasing what they're writing when they're planning to publish it. I get really nervous because I feel like someone nefarious could like come along and go, oh, yoink, that's mine now. Or if they have fans, those fans are going to get spoiled. That's like my major gripe about, trying to find another writing channel. Let me go ahead and turn this down. Because even though I do like all of you guys, I do like having y'all here and we all could just chit chat and talk about stuff, or like I could like showcase some stuff. You never know who is just hopping on and just decide, oh hey, I'm gonna try to take something that normally is not part of the community, but like like hops in just for the day and decide, hey, they're showcasing what they're writing. I like it, but I could do better, so I'm gonna take it for myself. Ha 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 ha. Really don't care for it. Daily rub down and smooches. She is not a cuddly kitty cat. She totally is not. But I do give her pettings whenever she wants. She's learning. Well, I'm learning about her boundaries, like what she likes to be, where she likes to be petted, and to what effect, and how often, etc. She's not really a cuddly, touchy-feely kind of kitty cat compared to like Blondie and the rest of the kittens. Well, I call them kittens, but like Blondie's the last of the three, and she's like a really old, grumpy lady. In fact, I really want my parents to try to bring Blondie into their room, because it's not healthy for her to like stay upstairs when it's like really warm. She needs to like have a cooler place to sleep. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to convince them. Aww. Blondie does like being cuddled, does like her hugs, does love her pets, especially now when she's much older. She does like goes out and try to find me in the house to get her little pettings. But because of Sasha being territorial, I don't really get that, because Sasha has claimed me as hers. So when I do interact with Blondie, it makes Sasha jealous, and they like get into little territorial fights, and something that I had to mitigate and not do as often. So once in a while, I'm able to like steal a pet, or I huggle with Blondie, and I'll try to do it when she's not around. It's hard. Everyone else in the family has no issues. She doesn't care if anyone else in the family dotes on her. But if it's me, there's an issue. So right now it's just trying to convince Blondie to like be down here more often, and try to get like a place that's cooler for her temperature wise. This house is not really great with ventilation or heating or cooling system. It is a very old house. It's got issues. And since I live in a rental, there's not much I could do about it. Except have a window unit to try to balance some things out. Oh well, things will work out eventually. It's not as bad as it was earlier this year, thank goodness. Sasha has mellowed out where she's not so hyper, um, which is okay. We definitely were not like a kitten orientated family. I think next time if we ever adopt a cat, it would be like a cat. Adult cat. Oh my gosh. Ugh. No, I do hope the next place where I can move, I can at least decorate it and paint it and like personalize it. There's way too many times I live in places and buildings where I'm not able to like make it my home, my own house, or like I have to preserve it for the next renter, even though we will stay here for like 5+ years in every place, sometimes 10. It's like eventually you want to make a place your home and not worry about the next person. And it really depends on the landlord too, what they can and cannot tolerate. But yeah, nowadays I'm gravitating to something a little bit more cozier, softer kind of vibes. I don't mind modern touches, especially with appliances, because it tells me that it should be functional. It should be functional, it should be working. I don't mind like a kitchen that looks fresh. Um, Not necessarily the cabinetry, but like it's a nice touch because it will go with appliances. But like the rest of the house should just be homey. And my idea of homey is like dark woods or like um, what should I say? Anything that works with dark woods. I keep saying dark academia because, you know, that's kind of like the aesthetic most people go to now. Or most people think of when I try to describe what I would like. Dream place to be? It's different. It really depends on the location. Like in a place that's outside of civilization, like a cottage, like a log house cottage kind of situation. With some like farmhouse designs, especially like a farmhouse kitchen. With a suburban area or like even an urban area, I would like to have a townhouse kind of situation where I'm able to go to the bottom and top floor, kind of like a vertical townhouse. But you own that vertical slot, you know. So in a suburban urban area, that's something I personally like, you know, because I think that's just enough space for someone like me. But also, like, if there's no other space or whatever, you know, an apartment, especially like a studio apartment. But I have a tendency to not be imaginative without like any sort of constraints or structures. Like a open space environment, there's way too many options, way too many stuff I could do in there, and Thus, I get decision paralysis. So I'm not able to figure out how to block off sections. I need like a wall or like a room to create that structure. I'm not used to, you know, uh, an open space studio, even though that will be functional. I think what will ease my mind is that I actually do like some light work tomorrow. Do like a catch up, especially like work on my ad for tomorrow, for like the next month. And I think that's what is gonna help me with my nerves. Because that's the one thing that I feel like I'm like super behind on. I figure if I live in a rural mountainous area, I'm living with other people. There are some logistics in that mindset. And also, like, with more space in the area, I like the idea of taking up that space in a small house kind of setting. Like, the cottage doesn't have to be huge, it could be like European. you know? This is me assuming I'm just living by myself. So, um, I'm the type that I can be minimalistic. I don't need to have a lot of space. In fact, if there's too much space, I feel like I'm being swallowed up. Unless I'm able to section it off and make like zone areas where it feels like I have a functional space to work in. I don't like something that it's so massive that I feel a little bit overwhelmed, you know? Okay, I am gonna end that here. I'm sure that's a lot of info, to work with, but um, Monday, writing slash reading. I am just either I'm gonna work on my fanfic or I'm just gonna work on my book. Most likely, it's gonna be the book because I do need to get the ball rolling again. I haven't wrote anything in it since Wednesday, if I remember right. So definitely will want to kick that off Monday. Um, Wednesday, tarot, and of course a discussion at the end. The discussion would be about Silk Song and what y'all want and how and when with Silk Song. So more about that later. I'll see you all next time. Next week will be Signalis. I have to finish it. I gotta play it. And then I'll get into the other LGBTQ titles. Yeah, you also have a good night. Everyone have a wonderful day or evening. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others this weekend. And I'll see you all later. Have a wonderful time. Be gentle with yourselves. Take care. Yes, I will definitely enjoy my Fitzburgers.